What I want to do is work with the graph that you need to create for SpaSales. And it is a graph that's going to show eventually a combination of columns and an area chart. But the way this works in a Macintosh is going to be a little different than the instructions for the PC. So in order to create this graph, what I'm going to do is highlight A2 down to C13. Try again. And I'm going to go to Insert along the ribbon so I can get to the graphs. And to get to the combo chart that I need, you're not going to find it under Recommended as perhaps suggested. What we're going to need to do instead is use the combo chart tool here. And I'm going to select the first one. That gives us the clustered column that we're looking for and the line chart. The first thing that you'll notice that's different is in the graph is the fact that what we have is a dual axes, and that is that because the profit numbers are so large, they dwarf what the columns look like. And in order to sort of fix that, we can put the column values on the left-hand side and the profit values on the right-hand side. To do that, we have to let Excel know we want a secondary axis. So I'm going to two-finger tap on the line, and hopefully it'll bring up Format Data Series, and I can tell that it's a secondary axis. So at this point, it should look very much like what you see in the video. They have us give the chart title Profit by Quantity Sold. And so if you're following along in one of the blue boxes, I believe this will bring you right up to that point. You'll find that they tell you to add in additional figures, the December numbers, 156, and it looks like 1652 if I can read. I assume that's what that says. Check with the values of the book, but I believe it's 1652. One of the things you'll notice is when I add those, the graph doesn't change. But when I select the chart, you can see that why it's not. Okay, the data doesn't include that. If I go to the bottom right-hand corner of the blue box and I just drag it down, notice it automatically updates what I need. And so now December is included. Now the one thing that we need to fix is the fact, and I'm going to put this the way it looks in the book. So we'll just move it. And they may have you fix this to something different later. What we want to do is we want to change the line so that it's not a line anymore, but rather an area. The process is different on a PC than it is a Mac. If I try to do something similar in the PC, it'll actually change both the line and the column chart. But on a Mac, this is how we need to do it. We can select one series, and so I select the series. I'm going to two-finger tap to bring up the bring up our choices, and in the sort of drop-down menu, and I'm going to go to Chart Type, change Chart Type. And it's a little strange. They put area underneath the line. Okay, so it's among the lines. And if I then scroll down, we're looking for the two-dimensional area. So again, in order to do this, I needed to select the line first, two-finger tap to bring up the menu, change chart type, line, the very first of the two-dimensional area. Now we're moving right along. The next thing I have you do is change the style and the layout. The style is this style here, style 6, and the layout they want you to use is layout 9. Now, if you have not done this correctly, it's conceivable that layout 9 won't show up. Layout 9 is specifically tied to to a subset of graphs, and included in there is this combo chart with the area and the columns. So some students who have made mistakes along the way and have not gotten the orange area and the blue columns, they don't have layout number 9. But if you follow the steps that I have here, you can find layout number 9. You want to just roll over and make sure. Sometimes they've dropped out layouts, so always make sure that you can see it says layout 9. And that ought to be good. So that is what we have for doing this. The rest, they'll have you at some point change the axes titles. But at this point, you should be moved along far enough that you can continue on, and you've got this this graph with the right combination that they're looking for.